What up, guys? We're back at my shop. Been working on the S10 tonight. I talked to BT a couple days ago about the 480 drive shaft that I had. It's not long enough, but they said that the slip yoke is the same, so I can actually reuse that slip yoke. There's nothing wrong with it, just the shaft's too short, so I can take the yoke and the flange down to the local drive shaft shop and get them to make me a drive shaft. But I got to get the truck buttoned up back on the ground and measure my drive shaft with the weight of the truck on it, so it's not too long or too short or anything like that. But been shaving some weight, got rid of all the AC. The truck originally had AC. It was going to be a more daily street truck, but the compressor was locked up. There was no point even bothering trying to. Everything was such a tight fit. Changing the plugs on the passenger side was just a nightmare. So what I did is I just removed the box, removed the compressor, the lines and stuff. There's still a couple lines in there, maybe a pound or two, but with the transmission going 480 to 400, the converter being lock-up to non-lock-up in a 10-inch, and just the AC stuff is just over 100 pounds. So it's like 102 pounds or 3 pounds, something like that. It'll probably end up being 103, 104 pounds out of the truck once I take the other AC lines and stuff off of it. And that wasn't me. Also, I didn't include the weight of the AC condenser either. So there's probably another 5 to 10 pounds, just depending on what it weighs. But other than that, there's a few other things I'll probably try to take out. And I'm probably not going to strip the dash down, stuff like that. That's just too much work right now for what I want to do. Probably not going to be huge weight savings for gutting underneath. It might save another 10 pounds, 15 pounds probably, but I just wanted to get the engine bay cleaned up to make it easier to work on. So especially if we're going to go Rocky Mountain Race Week and something happens, I have a lot more access to things and I'm able to get in there and work on it and not have to take pieces out to work on the truck and do anything on it on the side of the road. Hopefully not, but or at the track. Hopefully the thing just is solid all through the freaking week. All right, got my pilot in. As you can see, a lot taller. This is a standard turbo 400 and this is for the LS. So you don't have to buy that adapter or that adapter plate that bolts in. So this actually just threads onto the front of the torque converter and goes into the LS crankshaft. All right, the turbo 400's in. You can see the pilot in there, my ARP hardware, got the bolts, got my spacers, everything for my clearance and everything. Got the I'm using the 480 dipstick tube and the dipstick, and what I had to do is measure. They told me a 1/4 of an inch above the pan mating surface. So this right here, this where the gasket basically meets to this top little ledge here, it's about a 1/4 inch. So what I ended up having to do is meet this all the way in with the gasket, and then what I did was make a little mark right there for the distance from here to the surface right here, and then that was what I've subtracted from here to here, from here to here. And then with the dipstick in, I just measured from this point to down here, and then this was my full mark right here. So what I did was when I pulled the dipstick out, it was sticking out. The tube stops like right here. So all I did was measure the mark I made on the tube, which would have been this top mark, and then the end of the tube would have been somewhere like right here, and then just marked it and everything and put it all. Just got a little file and scuffed it up and made a little full mark right here. So I just gave a little area. So as long as it's at least in this area, more towards the top right there, it will be good. So she's in, just gotta get a few more things done. And then the one nice thing was that I was able to reuse the 4L80 mount, so I didn't even have to buy a mount. I just bolted her in and that was ready to go. So now I need to order some drive shaft pieces and my shifter and everything, and get all that mounted in and redo my cooler lines, and we'll be ready to go. There's a box of parts right there. Got the all the plastics out, the evaporator and the compressors down in there, a couple lines and stuff. But This stuff never even worked anyways. There was probably a wiring issue somewhere that maybe a ground wasn't hooked up or something. Like the blower motor wouldn't even come on. And it was getting power and everything, but I think there was something, maybe a ground issue possibly. It could have easily been fixed if I put some time into it, but just didn't want to mess with it. I'm going to get my buddy Nathan to take this box. We're going to put it together and we're going to trace it and then he's got a CNC table for plastic and foam and stuff like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a template with this box and then get a piece of ABS plastic and cut us out a real nice block off plate for all that stuff. As you can already see, there is a huge amount of room now to get to all the things. Otherwise, before there was a huge big box in the way, all the lines going everywhere, the filter dryer. So it was basically motor that came off there, and it was kind of tucked up in here. It was kind of hard to get to that top bolt to pull the motor out. I ended up actually having to cut these studs because with the engine in there, it doesn't give you enough room to pull it out. So what I had to do is pull the box out enough, get a really long sawzall blade, and get to this back. There's one kind of tight, you can't see, it's dark, but there's that one and then another one, and I had to cut them to be able to get it out. I do need to get the coolant hose bypass for right there, and I'm going to get rid of all that. That went to the heater core. The heater core started leaking. I did that just temporary. Kind of temporary turned into permanent type stuff, but since I've got the truck apart, or still kind of apart, I'm going to pull the hose and do the loop and get rid of that, clean it up a little bit. Eventually I will put a heater core back in it. Well, I won't run this fan. I'll figure something else out to run on the, like maybe just stick it up in the ducting somewhere just to circulate some air in the truck if I ever need it. Little heat or something to defrost the window if we're driving, especially on Rocky Mountain Race Week if it starts raining. And we're going to have something to kind of defrost the window. So I'm going to have to come up with something to at least have defrost. I don't care if it's only defrost. It's not a big cab. Even if it's cold outside, it'll only take a few minutes to warm up inside the truck. But that'll be down the road after we get back from 2K. I'll worry about that. I actually have a gray dash for it anyways that I need to put in it because this one's all cracked and stuff, and it's that blue dash. And eventually I'll take those seats out, put some Kirkies in it, and then finish the cage out, like painting it, and then do my door bars, and then maybe go ahead and come off of that and come down the A-pillars and into the dash and whatnot. But we're getting there. Hopefully in the next week we'll have some idling videos and you'll actually get to hear this thing run. I could probably start it now, but I'm not going to take a chance with no fluid in the transmission and risk anything, even if it's in park. I just don't want to risk anything. So we'll get the transmission stuff done, and once it's in there and we got the drive shaft in, we'll be able to fire it up. Even if I don't have the shifter in yet, we'll fire it up. You can hear it, get a couple idle videos with it. Probably be good. I need to run some of that fuel out anyway. So a couple other things I'm going to do: get rid of the brackets. Like this, there's this big bracket that goes for the Explorer that we're going to get rid of. There's the stock muffler hanger under there we'll get rid of. I don't have an e-brake on this truck, parking brake or anything, but it still has all the shoes and stuff inside this axle. So I'm going to pull these drums off, or these discs off, get rid of the parking brakes. I'll save a few pounds right here on the axle. And then also I'm going to put a hydraulic handbrake in it for at the track, so I can kind of stall it up for right now. Since I didn't get the Turbo 400 with the trans brake, I'm going to go ahead and do like a hydraulic e-brake with a locking lever. So basically you can pull it back and lock it. So the stock discs, the stock calipers will act like an emergency brake. As long as the brake system's good and it don't have no leaks, it'll hold the truck and it won't go nowhere. Because I thought about putting stock cabling back on the truck or make it work with this 8.8. So that way I could have just a e-brake if I'm doing anything, jacking the truck up, and I just need to put the e-brake down or something to keep the truck from moving. But the cables hit the drive shaft, so we're still waiting on a few things. Got my fittings coming in. They should be here tomorrow. The next day, finish out my transcooler lines. Got to get a temp gauge, order my shifter. Since I'm saving a few bucks on parts for my drive shaft, I'm gonna go ahead and splurge and get the precision air shifter, and that way I'll have it. If I ever need to hook up or ever want to hook up air, it'll be there. I know I've been talking a lot on these videos. I'm getting real antsy to get this truck going, get it back cruising it around and stuff, and having some fun in it. I haven't really driven anything fast for quite a while now. This thing's been down for, I can't even remember how long it's been down, but I'd get it together, and I swear it'd last a day or so, and then it'd break, and then it'd be parked for months. And the fastest thing I've been driving right now is a diesel Beetle. That ain't very fast. If you want to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay up to date on these builds. We're going to be trying to do a whole bunch of stuff this summer. Also, go like us on Facebook. It's Project Street Cars on Facebook. And we're going to try to do as much as we possibly can this summer. So keep in touch. Peace.